On the Otago coast of New Zealand's South Island, a strange and wondrous sight greets the patient observer. Here, along the sandy expanse of Kokohe Beach, lie the Moeraki Boulders. They are not jagged rocks, nor are they slender shards of stone. Instead, they are immense spheres, some perfectly round, others slightly ovoid like colossal eggs from a mythical creature. They rest half buried in the wet sand, stoic and silent against the relentless wash of the Pacific Ocean. Their presence feels ancient and deliberate, as if they were placed there by a forgotten giant or a celestial hand rather than being the mere product of time and geology. They are a profound spectacle, a natural gallery of sculpture that really defies easy explanation. These stone globes vary greatly in size. Some are modest, maybe a meter or so in diameter, small enough for a child to clamber upon. Others are truly monumental, reaching heights of over 2 meters and weighing several tons. Their surfaces are a complex tapestry of cracks and fissures, forming a pattern that resembles the shell of a tortoise or a complex alien map. This network of lines, known as septarian cracks, adds to their mystery, making each boulder unique. As the morning sun rises, it casts long shadows from these silent sentinels, creating a scene of profound and quiet beauty that captivates all who come to witness them. The air is thick with salt, and the sound of the waves, a timeless soundtrack to their long vigil. To walk among them is to feel a sense of humbling awe. The sheer scale and improbable perfection of their forms are deeply affecting. You find yourself touching their cool, weathered surfaces, tracing the lines of their cracks with your fingertips, as if trying to understand the immense forces that brought them into being. They seem to hold a deep, unspoken knowledge of the world. They have witnessed countless sunrises and sunsets, endured furious storms, and watched the slow, inexorable march of the coastline. The boulders are more than just rocks. They are monuments to deep time, their silent presence a powerful reminder of the planet's long and complex history, a story written in stone and sand. The experience of seeing them changes with the tides and the light. At low tide, dozens of boulders are revealed, scattered across the beach like a giant's discarded game of marbles. Visitors can walk far out onto the sand, exploring the clusters and solitary spheres. At high tide, however, the waves reclaim the beach, crashing against the stones and partially submerging them. They become islands in a churning sea, their steadfastness a testament to their immense weight and stability. This daily rhythm of concealment and revelation adds to their mystique, making each visit a unique encounter with one of nature's most peculiar and inspiring creations, a true geological wonder. The scientific explanation for the Moeraki Boulders is as fascinating as any myth, though it trades gods and monsters for the slow, patient work of chemistry and time. These spheres are not alien artifacts or fossilized eggs, but geological formations known as septarian concretions. Their story begins around 60 million years ago during the Paleocene epoch. At that time, the area that is now Kokohe Beach was deep beneath the ocean. Mud, silt, and clay settled on the seabed, forming thick layers of sediment. It was within this ancient waterlogged mudstone that the genesis of the boulders began, a process that would take millions of years to complete. The formation of a concretion is a gradual process of accumulation. It starts with a central nucleus, which could be a fossil fragment, a piece of shell, or even a simple grain of sand. This tiny core acts as a magnet for minerals dissolved in the surrounding water. In the case of the Moeraki Boulders, the primary cementing mineral was calcite, derived from the decomposition of marine organisms. Layer by layer, over an immense span of time, the calcite crystals precipitated out of the water and bound themselves to the growing mass. This slow, steady accumulation of minerals built up around the central point, forming the perfectly spherical shapes we see today. The distinctive turtle shell patterns on the boulder's surfaces also have a scientific origin. As the concretions grew, their interiors sometimes dehydrated and shrank, causing cracks to form from the center outwards. These cracks are known as septarian cracks. Later, these fissures were filled by other minerals carried by groundwater. In the Moeraki Boulders, the cracks were filled first with brown calcite and then with a layer of yellow calcite spar, followed by a final rare infilling of quartz. This intricate network of mineral veins is what gives each boulder its unique and beautiful pattern. a roadmap of its complex chemical history. For millions of years, these concretions lay hidden within the soft mudstone cliffs that line the coast. They were geological secrets waiting to be revealed. The relentless power of the ocean, however, is a patient excavator. Over thousands of years, coastal erosion has worn away the softer rock of the cliffs, causing the hard, dense boulders to be released. They tumble down onto the beach, where the waves continue to shape and polish them. The boulders we see today are merely the latest to be uncovered by this endless cycle of erosion, a slow and steady unveiling of nature's hidden masterpieces. While science provides a logical explanation for the boulders, the local Maori people, the Ngai Tahu, have a far more dramatic and poetic story. Their legend speaks not of geology but of a great journey, a tragic shipwreck and the sorrow of gods. According to the law, the boulders are the remnants of food baskets, water gourds and eel pots that washed ashore from the wreck of the Araturu, a legendary waka or canoe. This great vessel was on a voyage from Hawaii, the ancestral homeland of the Maori, carrying precious cargo and the ancestors of the southern tribes to New Zealand. The Araturu was captained by a chief named Hippo, and it sailed alongside another waka called the Takitimu. As the Araturu rounded the Shag Point Peninsula known as Matakaya, it was struck by a tremendous storm. The mighty canoe was overturned by the raging sea, and its crew and cargo were scattered along the coastline. The spherical boulders that lie on Kokohe Beach are said to be the calabashes and kumara, or sweet potatoes that spilled from the canoe. The more elongated hollow boulders found further north are believed to be the eel pots, or hinaki, that were also part of the cargo. This legend imbues the landscape with a deep cultural and spiritual significance. The story does not end with the spilled cargo. The nearby rocky peninsula of Shag Point is said to be the petrified hull of the wrecked Araturu itself. A prominent rock formation just off the coast is identified as Hippo. The unfortunate captain turned to stone as he surveyed the wreckage of his great canoe. This narrative transforms the entire coastline into a sacred historical site, a physical reminder of the ancestral voyage that brought the Ngai Tahu people to this land. The boulders are not just rocks, they are sacred relics of a foundational event. By linking the boulders to the Araturu, the legend connects the people directly to the land. It is a story of origins, of struggle, and of endurance. The boulders serve as a tangible link to the ancestors, a permanent memorial to their perilous journey and the establishment of their descendants in this new home. For the Ngai Tahu, the stones are taonga, or treasures, imbued with the mana, or prestige and spiritual power of their tipuna, their ancestors. They are a powerful symbol of cultural identity, a story written into the very fabric of the earth, passed down through generations of oral tradition. The powerful allure of the Moeraki Boulders is deeply connected to their shape. The sphere is a form that has captivated the human imagination across cultures and throughout history. It is a shape of pure, unblemished geometry with no beginning and no end. In its perfect symmetry, we see reflections of fundamental concepts like unity, completeness, and eternity. The sphere has no sides, no corners, and no edges. Every point on its surface is equidistant from its center. This inherent quality of equality and balance makes it a natural symbol for harmony and wholeness, concepts that resonate deeply with the human spirit. Throughout history, the sphere has been used to represent the grandest of ideas. Ancient philosophers, from Pythagoras to Plato, saw the sphere as the most perfect of all solid forms, an embodiment of divine order and cosmic harmony. They believed that the heavens themselves were composed of a series of concentric spheres with the planets and stars moving in perfect circular orbits. This celestial association endowed the sphere with a sense of the sacred and the eternal. The sun and the moon, our most prominent celestial bodies, appear as disks or spheres, reinforcing this connection between the circular form and the divine cosmos. This symbolism extends far beyond philosophy and astronomy. In art and architecture, the sphere and its two-dimensional counterpart, the circle, are used to evoke feelings of unity and infinity. Think of the rose windows of great cathedrals, the circular mandalas of Buddhist and Hindu traditions, or the domes that crown mosques and temples. These architectural elements draw the eye inward and upward, creating a sense of focus, contemplation, and connection to a higher power. The sphere represents a self-contained world, a complete universe in miniature, which is why it is so often associated with spiritual and metaphysical ideas. The Moeraki Boulders tap directly into this deep-seated psychological and cultural reverence for the spherical form. When we see them, we are not just looking at unusual rocks, we are encountering a shape that our collective consciousness has long associated with perfection, eternity, and the fundamental order of the universe. Their natural origin makes them even more profound. They are not man-made artifacts, but expressions of nature's own capacity to create perfect forms. They remind us that the principles of harmony and balance are not just human ideals, but are woven into the very fabric of the physical world itself. The Moeraki Boulders, while extraordinary, are not entirely unique in the world. Similar spherical concretions have been found in various locations across the globe, each with its own local lore and scientific interest. In Costa Rica, the Diquis Delta is famous for its nearly perfectly man-made stone spheres whose purpose remains a subject of intense archaeological debate. In Bosnia, giant stone balls found near the town of Zavidovici have fueled speculation about ancient, unknown civilizations. While many of these are now thought to be natural concretions like those at Moeraki, their discovery always ignites a sense of wonder and mystery. These global counterparts highlight a universal human fascination with such enigmatic objects. In North Dakota, similar formations are known as cannonball concretions and were once thought by Native American tribes to be the spent ammunition of spirits. In the deserts of Egypt, concretions known as melon or watermelon stones are found. Their round shapes are stark contrast to the flat, sandy landscape. In each case, these spherical stones capture the public imagination, often becoming the subject of folklore, speculation, and even pseudoscientific theories involving aliens or lost technology. The common thread linking the public reaction to these discoveries is a sense of awe and a desire for explanation. The perfect sphericity of these stones seems too deliberate, too orderly to be a mere accident of nature. This leads people to seek out stories, whether scientific or mythological, to make sense of their existence. The boulders challenge our everyday experience of the natural world, which is often characterized by jagged, irregular, and chaotic forms. They present us with an example of profound order and symmetry emerging from the earth itself, prompting us to question our understanding of natural processes. The Moeraki Boulders stand out among these global examples due to their stunning coastal setting and the sheer number and accessibility of the stones. The dynamic environment of the beach, with its shifting tides and crashing waves, adds a dramatic element that is absent from many other sites. This interplay between the static ancient stones and the dynamic, ever-changing ocean creates a powerful visual and emotional experience. It makes the Moeraki Boulders not just a geological curiosity, but a world-class natural spectacle. A place where the universal fascination with nature's perfect spheres finds its most breathtaking expression. The Moeraki Boulders are not static monuments, they are participants in a slow, unending drama of creation and decay. While they appear timeless and indestructible, they are subject to the same forces that brought them to light. The very ocean that unearths them from the cliffs also works to wear them down. The constant abrasion of sand and water, the relentless cycle of wetting and drying, and the chemical action of salt all contribute to their gradual erosion. Some boulders show this wear clearly. Their once smooth surfaces now pocked and weathered, their perfect spheres slowly losing their definition over millennia. The most dramatic aspect of their decay is the cracking and splitting of the boulders. Many of them are already broken open, revealing their hollow or crystalline interiors. This process creates fascinating new forms. A once perfect sphere might split in half, creating two bowl-like shapes that collect rainwater and tidal pools, becoming miniature ecosystems for tiny marine creatures. Others shatter into several large fragments, their pieces lying on the sand like the broken shell of a colossal egg. This process of fragmentation is a powerful reminder that nothing, not even these mighty stones, is permanent. This continuous process of change means that the scene at Kokohe Beach is never exactly the same. New boulders are constantly being eroded from the nearby mudstone cliffs, destined to fall onto the beach and begin their own journey with the tides. At the same time, older boulders that have been on the beach for centuries are slowly being ground down into sand, their substance returning to the sea. It is a slow-motion life cycle, a geological ballet of birth, existence, and dissolution that plays out over thousands of years. We, as visitors, are privileged to witness but a single moment in this epic timeline. This state of flux adds a poignant layer to their beauty. We are seeing them not as finished objects, but as objects in transition. They embody the delicate balance between endurance and impermanence, between the immense slow power of geological formation and the equally powerful forces of erosion. Their cracked and broken forms are not signs of imperfection, but are testaments to their long history and their ongoing interaction with the environment. They are beautiful not just for their perfect shapes, but also for their scars, which tell the story of their long and eventful existence on the edge of the world. The Moeraki Boulders serve as profound markers of what geologists call deep time. This is the vast, almost incomprehensible timescale of the Earth's history, a timeline that really dwarfs the span of human existence. Each boulder is a time capsule, having begun its formation some 60 million years ago. To stand beside one is to stand beside an object that is older than the Alps, older than the Himalayas, and vastly older than humanity itself. They provide a tangible connection to a past so distant that it is difficult for the human mind to grasp, a world of ancient seas and long-extinct creatures. Their presence on the beach is a lesson in the slow, patient power of natural forces. The process of concretion that formed them took millions of years of painstaking layer-by-layer accumulation. The process of erosion that freed them from the cliffs has taken thousands of years of relentless wave action. The boulders are a testament to the idea that small, persistent forces, when applied over immense periods, can produce results of incredible scale and beauty. They challenge our modern preoccupation with speed and immediacy, reminding us that the most profound creations are often the result of slow, steady, and patient work. Furthermore, the boulders act as guardians of the present moment, anchoring the observer in the here and now. As you watch the waves crash against their unmoving forms, you become acutely aware of the rhythm of the tides and the passage of the day. The changing light of sunrise and sunset paints them in shifting hues of gold, orange, and purple. The sound of the wind and the surf, combined with the solid presence of the stones, creates a deeply meditative atmosphere. They encourage a state of mindfulness, a quiet contemplation of one's place in the vastness of time and nature. This dual role as symbols of deep time and anchors of the present moment is what makes the Moeraki Boulders so emotionally resonant. They connect us to the planet's ancient past while simultaneously grounding us in our own fleeting experience of the world. They are silent philosophers teaching a wordless lesson about time, persistence, and the beautiful, intricate dance between creation and erosion. They do not speak, but their presence communicates a sense of permanence and peace, a feeling that is both humbling and deeply comforting in our fast-paced, transient world. The sheer strangeness of the Moeraki Boulders makes them a natural canvas for human imagination and storytelling. Long before geologists offered their explanations, people sought to make sense of these mysterious spheres through myth and legend. The Maori story of the Araturu is the most prominent, but it is easy to imagine other tales being spun by sailors and early settlers. Were they the cannonballs of giants, the eggs of sea dragons, the fallen tears of a grieving sky god? The boulders invite such speculation. Their enigmatic forms a perfect starting point for fantasy and wonder. This imaginative impulse continues to this day. The boulders are among the most photographed natural features in New Zealand, and each photograph is an act of interpretation. Photographers play with light, shadow, and perspective to capture the mood of the stones, presenting them as lonely sentinels, playful marbles, or ancient sleeping creatures. Some use long exposure techniques to smooth the surrounding water into a misty dreamscape, emphasizing the timeless quality of the boulders. Others capture them against the dramatic backdrop of a stormy sky, highlighting their resilience and strength. Beyond photography, the boulders inspire a wide range of artistic and personal responses. Painters, poets, and writers have all been moved by their silent majesty. They appear in literature as symbols of mystery, endurance, and the deep connection between the land and its stories. For the thousands of tourists who visit each year, the boulders become a backdrop for personal memories. Children clamber over them, treating them as natural playground equipment. Couples pose for photos beside them, making the ancient stones a part of their own modern love stories. They are not just observed, they are interacted with, becoming part of the human story. This deep engagement shows that the boulder's significance lies not only in what they are, but in what they inspire us to think and feel. They stir our curiosity, provoke our sense of wonder, and stimulate our creativity. They remind us that the world is full of mysteries that cannot be fully captured by science alone. The human need for stories, for beauty, and for a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves is a powerful force. The Moeraki Boulders are a place where the geological world and the world of the human imagination meet, each enriching the other in a beautiful and profound way. In the end, the enduring allure of the Moeraki Boulders lies in their perfect blend of mystery and explanation, of science and myth. They satisfy both our rational desire to understand the world and our emotional need for wonder. The geological story of their formation is a marvel of chemistry and deep time, a testament to the slow, creative power of the natural world. It is a story of patience and precision, of mineral accumulation over millions of years, culminating in these improbable perfect spheres that now rest upon a modern beach. At the same time, the Maori legend of the Araituru provides a rich cultural context that science alone cannot offer. This story infuses the boulders with spirit, history, and a deep human connection. They become more than just concretions. They are the sacred relics of an ancestral journey, tangible links to a foundational myth. This narrative layer adds a profound sense of place and identity to the landscape, transforming a geological curiosity into a site of deep cultural significance. The boulders are a place where two ways of knowing the world, scientific and mythic, coexist in harmony. Their spherical shape taps into a universal human fascination with perfection, unity, and eternity. We are drawn to their flawless geometry, a stark contrast to the often chaotic and irregular forms of nature. They feel both entirely natural and strangely artificial, as if designed by a divine artist. This ambiguity is at the heart of their appeal. They are nature's marvels, a playful yet profound geological spectacle that invites contemplation on the fundamental patterns and forces that shape our universe, from the orbits of planets to the simple formation of a stone. Ultimately, to walk among the Moeraki Boulders is to experience a deep sense of awe. It is to feel humbled by the vastness of geological time and inspired by the beauty that can emerge from it. They are silent witnesses to the endless rhythm of the tides, guardians of ancient secrets and modern memories. They challenge us, inspire us, and connect us to the deep, slow pulse of the planet. Whether seen as geological wonders, sacred ta'unga, or cosmic symbols, the Moeraki Boulders remain one of Earth's most captivating and unforgettable natural treasures. Their mystery is deep and enduring as the ocean itself.